everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Fight Like a Gem. Are you excited?
Very.
I feel like this jacket was
like
a
that.
very terrible idea because it makes a lot of noise.
What is
So-
the jacket? Oh, it's a
It's just
Yeah,
crinkling everywhere.
It's like a very crinkly sound.
you got-
So hopefully all the audio is good. I had some technical issues today, so if something is weird, mods, please let me know immediately. So first and foremost, we have two new people if you haven't noticed. So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves quick, and then we'll go through our our announcement stuff, and then we'll let Random Tuesday take it away. I'm so excited. First and foremost, we have Random Tuesday back. Yay! To GM Fusion, which is actually a game she created. So if something goes wrong, we can blame her.
The best part is I could just be like, oh no, I'm gonna fix that because I have an edit coming. It's fine.
Oh yeah, true. Sure. And then of course, Bentham and I, you know us. So Bonsai, you want to introduce yourself, not your character.
Oh, okay.
Let the people know who you are, where they can find you.
Hi, everyone. I am Bonsai Baby. I mostly do woodworking here on Twitch. You can find me at Bonsai Baby here on Twitch, and on Instagram, and but Bonsai Baby E on Twitter because gosh darn, somebody already took my main name. How dare they?
How dare they? Have you tried to reach out to them and been like, please
Yeah, I think
give us forth thy name?
they haven't posted in like 8 years. So
I think it's 6 months. As long as if they haven't interacted with their account for 6 months, you can get the account.
Oh, I tried contacting them, but nothing.
No, I mean like actually contacting Twitter, not
Oh,
them.
I might do that then.
Yeah, I got you, girl. And then of course, Pro Restarter. Where can people? Am I pronouncing that right? Pro Restarter.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know if it's like a pro. I don't know. I'm just.
Bro,
Pro Rooster.
Where can people find you at? And of course, oh my gosh, I just love your eye gems.
Hey, super hyped to be here. I am Pro Restarter. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm on a bunch of other channels, do some TTRPG stuff, and it's here to be fabulous and be sad protect person.
Yay! So our quick announcements is first and foremost, we would like to extend a huge thank you to our supporter day, which is the Geeky Canadian. Thank you. We appreciate it a lot. And then of course we have I'm gonna go through the other stuff first, and I'm gonna end with the big announcement. Even though Bentham put this in a different note. We have our monthly recap that is out. So if you would like to know how Roll For It runs, what we do, all the nitty-gritty stats, the crazy decisions we have to make, the sad decisions we have to make, things of that sort, you can go check it out over there. We talk about like basically everything that you could ever want to know about how we run our show and how we run our channel. We try to be very transparent in regards to what we're doing and why we're doing it. So if you want to know that and you're interested, or you're trying to start up your own channel, maybe it could be helpful for you. Or if you're just curious because you're a big fan. And then, of course, we have our Ascension Gods list out. The Divine Hosts are up. And we also had the Unaligned Gods that went out the previous week. So you've got a few. And I think there's one more set. So
Next week you get the Dark Pact.
ooh. So if you are a huge lore junkie and you're really enjoying, or even if you're not enjoying Ascension, but if you're a huge lore junkie and you're also enjoying Ascension, there are lots of goodies out there for you. We have a ton of like GM stuff up there. So you definitely want to check it out. Also, just because the VOD was taking forever, we did have some YouTube issues, but now the video for Ascension episode 7 is up. We were really sorry that took so long. Sometimes YouTube does not want to cooperate. We had tried uploading it like 5 different ways, and it still was just not doing it. So I'm sorry. We're sorry.
The upload page was just a block of videos at 0% processed, like by the end of it.
And then I think the Mage VOD, does the Mage VOD come out tomorrow? Or tonight at 2 p.m., not now.
Yeah, tonight at the end. That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
it says end.
He just put it on
Put
here,
end
so
next to it.
it's not actually out yet. It will be out after the end of the show. And then, of course, last but not least, we have our bigger announcement, which is whenever Fight Like a Gem is over, we have another show, a longer campaign, which will be The Last Ditch. This is not the final logo or art. I just made this really fast, so it'll have some really cool Warhammer art. We are going to be playing Warhammer 40k Only War. It's going to be amazing. We haven't announced the cast yet, but you can stay tuned for this week. Or
Are you gonna play the new
I think
ninth
we're going to announce
edition?
that this week. And yeah, we are going to have Sheepdog42 GMing us. They've done a lot of Warhammer content. If you haven't checked it out or you want to go check out his stuff, he's a big Warhammer junkie. And we have quite a few other folks who have been on some other Warhammer shows that will be also joining us. We'll tell you all about that later down the line. But that will be premiering August 2nd, 2020, 10 a.m. PDT, 6 p.m. BST at twitch.tv/rollforit, of course.
It's been 3 years since we've done 40k now. It's like
I know,
it's
it's been a long
return.
time. People have been
40K
waiting
is not
for
like Shadowrun though for you, right? It was a system you enjoyed playing.
I like playing
it's
Warhammer.
fun.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
Sheepy also, like, sometimes the 40k systems get clunky and then Sheepy just ignores that bit and then we have fun.
Y'all gonna play the new edition?
We're playing the
Only War is one of the old ones.
Yeah. So
It's not Wrath and
I have
Glory.
played Wrath and Glory, which is really fun too. But it's a completely different system. So yeah, definitely check that out. We'll be premiering that August 2nd. We'll have more deets as we get closer. That is a bigger campaign, so you'll be seeing some more cool things coming down the line for it. So stay tuned. And I think that's all. While I'm posting that, I will let Bentham do the shilling, and then we'll get this show on the road.
All right, yes. So the way that Roll For It is able to operate on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis and do all its awesome shows and have all of these awesome people on and be able to pay them reasonable amounts, as much as we can, is via Patreon. If you support us on Patreon, then we can do more stuff. And there's a whole bunch of different tiers you can support at to give you a whole bunch of different rewards, up to but not limited to MP3s of all of our shows, after shows we record after every show. We talk about what happened in the show. Character sheets, secret behind the scenes GM things. In fact, there was a lot of that yesterday where all the GM people were in the secret room in Discord that not even I can see, plotting with E about what would happen in the one shot yesterday. And then there was lots of fun scheming going on in there. People were actually trolling me, but they were randomly posting F in my stream chat before the show even began, like the stream I was doing earlier in the day, about the secret plotting they were doing, just trying to mess with me. But yeah, and then I've now gone and read it all back and been like, of course that was what they were doing. Oh dear. Yeah, so lots of behind the scenes GM things you can get involved in currently. And also, you can, of course, watch the monthly recaps where the admins talk about the events of the previous month. You can vote and things, all that kind of thing. You can submit NPC names that will get used in random shows by our GMs. And also, if you're crazy, you can support at the Legend tier and above, where you get access to a once-monthly game GM'd by a member of the Roll For It cast, which is not a streamed game. It's just a private game that you get to be a part of. And there's all sorts of wacky stuff going on with that. We've got Dot running Coriolis this month, which I'm not actually that familiar with, so I'm interested to see how that goes. Other things you can do are drop us bits on Twitch. They land in the cup, which is somewhere. Oh, it's over by the logo, by the show title. You can fill that with bits or empty it of bits as you see fit. You can also give us tips. They appear on the screen. We read them out at the end of the show to thank you for being awesome and supporting the episode. And you can also become a Twitch subscriber, which gives you emotes and badges and immediate VOD access, which normally means you can watch the video in the 24 hours before it goes out on YouTube, or if YouTube is terrible, then it's like 4 days, because YouTube is terrible. Also, you can support on YouTube if you want to. Become a YouTube member, which gives you badges and stuff too. And being a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or Patreon supporter all give you access to our community Discord full of awesome people where you can talk to us about the shows that are going on, the things that you're loving, the things you want to see. And we do love to see what you think of everything that's going on in there, as we do everywhere else as well, like Twitch and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. So please just tell us what you think of everything and what you're enjoying and what you want to see more of. And also, tell your friends about the shows. Bring them along, because there's so many people out there who don't know what tabletop RPG shows are yet and would love them if they knew. I can confirm I was one of those people. And now here I am.
One of us. One of us.
I can never escape now.
No, welcome.
Welcome to the cult.
And that's all the things.
Shall I take it away?
With that, yeah, take it away, Lauren.
Hello, everybody. I'm really happy to be here again. Thank you for having me. I very pointedly was like, let me run Fusion, please and thank you. Okay, great. Fusion is an RPG system that I wrote. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse hack. So if you've seen Masks, Monster Hearts, Dungeon World, Apocalypse World, any of those, it follows a very similar format. So the kind of basic role structure will be pretty familiar to you. You can get access to the system over on my itch. It's randomtuesday.itch.io. And you can pick up a copy of Fusion there. And if you grab it there, you'll also get access to any future updates, which currently the beta version, which is what this is, has been the beta version for like a whole year, but I'm planning on completing it. So you can grab it over there. And it is clearly based off of Steven Universe, lovingly crafted to allow you to have the experience of playing a gem and becoming a giant woman. And that was basically, I was like, I can go deep into like the original version of the system involved a Jenga tower. It does not anymore because that seemed overly complicated, but cool at the time. I was very into like, what is the game that actually involves a Jenga tower that requires you to use one?
Isn't that always the case? We make
Dread.
stuff way more complicated than it really needs to be.
Yeah, right? You're like, oh, I've got this cool idea. But if you want a game that actually involves a Jenga tower, Dread is an excellent choice. It is a horror tension game. Separate point. But we are playing in our version of the world of Steven Universe, so there will be some light spoils if you have not seen the show, mostly for the early seasons. Go watch it. If you haven't, it's like 10-minute episodes. You can get through like half the first season in an hour, so go.
Yeah,
Or
they're
stay,
really
actually.
short episodes. I think they're like 11 minutes or something. It's really easy to get through. I will say that the first season is actually the season I don't like the most.
It's the least.
It's because
robust
Steven is
season.
a baby, and they
He's still a
treat him
baby.
very much like a baby.
But the
And-
plus side is like, again, the first season only takes like an hour to get through, and then
Yeah.
you're like, cool. So anyway, with that though, I think we can start by maybe setting our scene a little bit and kind of having a little bit of introduction and have that be the way each of you introduce your gems into this setting, rather than sort of like explicitly calling it out. Because I realize like your gem names might give people clues, but they may not know exactly what gem you are. Also, the way you're dressed might give people clues, but might also confuse people depending on who you are and how you're dressed. So we're going to lay our scene in San Elroy, a West Coast United States city. It is located on the beach. Think like touristy sort of destination, a little Santa Cruz, a little Santa Barbara, that kind of California beach vibe. And it is a warm day. The sun is shining, and most days are warm because we're much farther south than the beach city is located. And San Elroy, beautiful coastline. We see the sparkling blue sea, and we sort of camera will drift past, and we see a large cliff face where a chunk of it probably fell into the ocean at one point, but that was long ago, well before the time of any of the people here. But we sort of pan up the cliff face, and lodged in the side of the cliff face, we see a giant red foot. It is not subtle, but it is very clearly a foot. Is it lodged like toes first or like knee first, I guess?
oh my
I
gosh,
was
can it be
imagining
toes
just toe
first?
first. Like
Can the
it's just,
toes be like where our seats are?
Yes, it just
Like that's
Yeah,
where
that
each
makes
of the
sense.
seats are? Like
You
the big
should
toes,
allow
the
it,
driver's
Pod.
seat?
And then maybe they like pop off as like escape pods. So maybe there aren't toes attached to it yet. There's like a bunch of like toes like on the beach because that's where all
Yeah.
your like escape pods were.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Do
I
it.
love it.
So
It's cute.
we see like a foot just lodged in the side of the cliff, and then like part of a leg. I imagine it goes like up to just below the knee, so it's like a foot and a calf.
Yeah.
And it is sort of like buried into the side of this cliff, and various vines and things have grown around it. There's a rickety stair leading up to the top of the cliff and a rickety stair leading down to the bottom of the cliff, maybe added somewhat as an afterthought and less as a forethought. And we sort of pan away from the cliff with the giant foot lodged in the side of it, and we see the town, and it's a small beach town, but it has many of the things that you would need in a beach town. There's an arcade in the distance. We see a golf course. There's stores lining the sort of beach walk, boardwalk area, and then it sort of drifts heads off into sort of more residential area. There's like a small, like I use the term woodland, but it's mostly like a copse of trees, and we see sort of farmland off in the distance. And I think where might we find? Who should we start with? Who wants to be the first character that we'll see? Or perhaps there are two of you.
Who would be?
What might
who
you
would
be
at the
doing on like a
spaceship?
Saturday morning
Yeah.
at what?
Hmm.
Or Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
Oh, Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Ooh, that's kind of early.
Who would be at the spaceship? Because that's the part we just described, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, we can drift back into the spaceship. We like go into the door. Like, does the door open at like the ankle?
Yeah,
Or like
there's
the back,
there'll be
the
like a
heel, the
hatch
heel
that
pops
like
open, so we see
Heel.
like we
Yes,
go
the
into
heel, please. Just pops it.
Yeah, the back of the heel just like burp, pops. all the way
there's
open.
got to be like a wooden walkway to come round from the steps to actually where the door is. It's
Yeah,
just kind of
and
like
it's
built
so
into the side of
rickety.
the
It's
the foot.
it's terrifying. It's constantly terrifying. And who's maybe home? Who's in our gem base?
I'd probably be hanging around in there.
Okay. Celeste, where would you be inside? Where do you spend your time?
What would there be in there? Like I feel so. Yeah, it would be this weird amalgam of like spaceship setup, but then also random like Earth knickknacks around the place. So it would be
Mhm.
like repurposed.
Do we all
Like,
live inside
probably be.
the foot?
I think
I imagine
that's
so,
the
yeah.
intention.
Okay.
Gem ships are pretty
maybe
spacious.
that you
Sometimes deceptively.
Okay.
expanded it too. It could be that it's larger than it was when it was just a spaceship, or like you've built onto it, and so there's like it looks like you can see the base of it, but you've kind of added extensions and extra structures onto it.
Like a
Yeah.
tree house, but
Yeah.
around a foot.
Yeah.
I like
Oh yeah,
it.
I know what I could be doing.
Foothouse,
That's
yeah.
interesting. Like so
Foothouse.
where the tow escape pod's deployed, there's like a part that goes into stone, and
Yeah.
it'll be cut away, and there'll be
Yeah.
like a tunnel that goes off into like an internal bit in the cave, and
Yeah,
I'll just
that makes
be
perfect sense.
using like saw blades of water to like cut new slices off of the
So-
walls and just
So
like
are you
cut out new
expanding?
sections.
You're expanding the internal structure.
Yeah, just idly like I figured I'd put a room here.
None of the internal structure makes any sense.
No, it's
Seems
just
like
whatever.
a good place for a room. There's already a room here, bigger room. And what do we see as we sort of go through the heel of the foot, through the main console area, past the entrance where the escape pods, and what do we see? Who is Celeste?
We see a lapis lazuli, all blue, dressed in blue, in a homeworld uniform. So like
Hmm.
it's like a top section that's got like kind of crosses leading down to a diamond shape. Very just kind of functional, and then kind of a flowing skirt that kind of billows around as she's using her water powers. She kind of like she's flying as well. She's got wings made of kind of messily constructed out of water that feel like they're not aerodynamic, but they work anyway. And she's just kind of floating in the middle of one of these chambers.
Magic.
It's
while,
Bentham's
like,
first female
her hair's
character. I love it.
It is, yeah, it is. I think probably. And the hair's kind of like floating around. I imagine that kind of happens when she's using her water powers, as she gets kind of very like underwater floating.
Looks like she's
magical.
like swimming, like in a bubble.
Yeah,
That's
although
trippy.
some of her hair is tied back in a ponytail.
But it's like,
But some of
got
it's kind of
got the Studio
gone
Ghibli
free.
sort of anime thing going on,
Yes,
where
yes.
like, how does that work?
Well, when people are frustrated, their hair just like bristles.
Yeah,
It's like,
isn't
that's
that
not
what
how
yours
people
does?
work.
Mine definitely does that.
And yeah, she's
Okay.
just idly slicing away. Oh, she has her teardrop shaped lapis gem on her right shoulder.
Very nice. And where might we find then? Where might you find Blush? Let's go for.
So I think as the camera kind of leaves this tunnel making, we see out just kind of onto the beach area and kind of clearing the debris from like rocks that, because Celeste doesn't care about cleanup. So someone has to clean up.
So imagine
So-
Celeste just like carved a whole hole in the side and then just like dumping like rocks and stuff out of it. So at the base of the cliff, there's just like rubble.
Yeah, so yeah, we see blush. They have this like kind of dark red kind of suit on. They've got the sleeves rolled up, and we can see that they are a ruby. They have these long dreadlocks. The gem is in kind of the forehead area, kind of sparkling out. And they're just lifting up large boulders, and they're attempting to make another rickety staircase from these boulders.
How is the staircase going, would you say, on a scale of 1 to not?
One's not good. I think it keeps falling over because I'm trying to be careful for the squishy people around, but it seems to only work when I make it incredibly rickety. And when I try and reinforce it, it doesn't seem to work for me. So I don't know why. I just have to add less pillars of support.
Maybe you're not a construction-oriented individual.
I'm very good at like destroying the boulders and carving them out, but it's difficult. It's frustrating.
And Pax, where might we find you?
Obviously, as they're making all this noise, like one of the toe pods, will go ahead and say it's lifted up, like kind of like very OSHA approved dangling connection on this foot tree or the foot house.
So one of the pods didn't land on the beach. It's like vaguely connected still.
Or no, it was just put up there.
Oh, it's just been moved down there.
It was moved
good,
up.
Good.
And then like held up by like, as much as you could mash like pegs or something in there so it stays up, kind of like tied with like I would say like trash debris or some sort, messily coming out of a stupor sleep, rubbing her eyes is an off-colored sapphire. It's not normally you could see just like kind of getting out of bed. Their room is incredibly messy. It's like they used to care, but something happened that they just don't care anymore. They're like, there's the floor is littered with knickknacks, things that just look shiny, whatever catches their eye, and they're just kind of sniffing around, seeing what clothes are clean.
So you eventually find some clean clothes. You don't need to wear real clothes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't. They're mine.
But you might choose to anyway.
You might choose to. Yeah.
I just like to. I just like my little trinkets. So it's a lot of like weird stuff. Kind of looks like almost like a not like a hoarder. What would you say? Somebody who does like a lot of scavenging. Just random
collector,
a junker,
treasure
junker,
treasure
hunter. Exactly. I'm a treasure hunter. And just put on
that's what they all say.
No, treasure hunter. It's my treasures.
What's the difference?
Pax is a dragon in disguise. Really, that's honestly what's happening here.
And then looking out the window, seeing yes.
I think you probably see me out the window.
Yeah, and that can pan us over. So where do we find Kara?
Kara is like laying on the beach. There's like a little blanket that's set up, like a little big beach towel. There's like an umbrella, and she's like brushing her hair with a fork while reading a book.
And what does she look like?
She is about 12 to 14 years old, if you see her. She has like pinkish purple hair that's almost like it's like pearlescent. And she has like big buns that are on her head, and her hair's like kind of cropped in like an A-shape bob like vibe. She's wearing like a crop top that's probably like a pinky mesh color, and her skirt is like this pink like kind of frilled skirt that has what do you call it? Like pleats? Is that what they call it? When they like go
Pleated
fold
skirt?
over shirt?
Yeah.
Fold over.
Yeah.
Pleat. I don't know. I'm just words are hard. And then she's got like a bomber jacket. That's a very pearlescent bomber jacket vibe going on.
She's so stylish.
She's so stylish, and she's got very very tan like dark skin. And you can see she has like a few pearls on her chest.
She is perhaps the hybrid.
Perhaps. Oh yeah, and I think when she pulls the fork, like she's reading the book and she pulls like the fork out of her pearls, and then she starts brushing her hair with it.
It's a totally normal thing. Could pull a hairbrush out.
Could pull a hairbrush out, but no. And then she puts the fork into like a thing of food, like a probably watermelon, and just eats it.
Just like a whole watermelon on the giant
Yeah, just
fork.
whole watermelon, like cartoon style. Just whole watermelon goes down. It's great.
Eats it rind and all. That's beautiful and I love it. So as the day is progressing, kind of want to give you all some time to interact as your characters with each other before there is any peril. So is there perhaps something that is like happening soon or an event that is coming up that you're all like something that might bring you all together?
Ooh.
Anniversary.
Ooh, whose anniversary?
Ooh.
Oh no.
Pills.
I was just like, is it Pearl's? Is it Kara's birthday, which some of you might perceive as Pearl's death day?
date? Oh no!
Oh,
Yes, I love it. Do
That's
it.
so-
Let's go for the thing
Do
that is
it.
most emotionally
most
intense.
emotionally hurting.
So,
Let's do
Kara,
it.
is today Kara's birthday?
Maybe it's like tomorrow. So like
Tomorrow is
they're doing the
Kara's birthday.
planning, and so Kara is oblivious to what is happening, right?
Okay.
Oh, so that's why. You're
and
So
What-
maybe the
what-
three of you are trying to plan something. I like that idea.
Mhm.
That's fun.
Making a new room for the birthday. This is the birthday room.
Is it the birthday room or is it like Kara's room so she can move in? Does Kara live there?
Oh yeah, maybe it's time.
Yeah.
Maybe Kara has like lived in her mother's room, and they're trying to make it more Kara and less Pearl.
Oh yeah, so like, she's already lived there, but now
Yeah.
we're making like her own room.
Yeah.
You are not the pill, you are Kara.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, if I see Kara just right outside my window, I think I'm gonna go ahead and have a little fun. Because it is
no.
the right
Oh no! What does that mean?
thing. Don't worry about it. I'll just go ahead and, of course, make my way down. I don't really care about the structure of the stairs and everything because it doesn't really matter. I can just float.
Yeah, do
Kinda
you even
thing.
use the stairs or do you just like levitate and float
The
your
stairs
way
are
down?
for me, probably.
The stairs for you. I would say that
blush.
I
And blush, yeah.
Ooh,
I just imagine Blush like climbs their way up, just like
just-
that's how I sort of pictured them getting up and down.
I'm gonna
Oh,
grab
right,
a
the
little bit,
stairs.
couple more trinkets that I have, just really quick, just like stuff them in my pockets that I have, of course, and then I will, because the stairs would be too obvious. I'll just go an alternate path that will sneak behind, Kara.
Oh no.
Yes. And then when I get close enough, I'm gonna just go, "Happy day before the day," and then just throw a lot of like pearlescence, like shells and stuff on top.
Clutter, clutter, clutter,
Clutter,
clutter.
clutter, 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 all the clutter. How is my special person
I think-
feeling today?
Kara reacts like Kara's actually like pretty relaxed, but she is also kind of like she's like chill, but she's also really excited and curious about things. So whenever this happens, I think she's like reading a book and you kind of like startle her a little bit, and the book goes flying in the air, and she stabs one of the gems with the fork that you just threw at her, and she kind of like twirls up in like a little bit of like a ballet dance and stands there, and she's like, "Oh, it's just you. Hi, Pax."
Hello, what is this? What is this? And I'll pick up the book, reading. Ugh, just it's not good for your eyes. You just keep reading. You should
I like
exercise
hearing
a
all the
little.
stories.
I guess this is. Oh, this is your mother's favorite book, isn't it? Clean it off and hand it nicely to her.
Yeah, I like to read it every year.
That's nice. It's nice that you. Well, it's just never mind. It's okay. You know what? You're here now, and that's great. And I think though, I think since it is the day before your special day, and like all special days, you need to break out more. You I know your mom was very 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 quiet, very aloof. But sometimes you just need to distract yourself
That's why I like
from
reading the book. If you look really closely, she has a lot of annotations. And I open up like the book to like a couple pages where she has like little notes next to it. Ow.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, you're
That's-
throwing gems at me. My cat is throwing mouse toys at me. She like threw it at me. She wants me to play with her.
I don't need to read that. That's okay. That's for you. That's for you.
Do you not know how to read, Pax?
What? No, of course I know how to read. Everyone knows how to read. Oh, I think you should get a birthday meal ready.
I do love food.
Ooh, I'll be right on it. What are you feeling like today?
Maybe we could make a hamburger out of donuts.
Perfect. I'll get right on that. Don't go anywhere. And I run off to go make
I just kind of
hamburger
like
donut.
look down at this mess that Pax has left me with like pearls and shells everywhere, and I'm like, well, I guess there could be worse things that she could throw at me. And then I just start picking things up and like putting them all on the blanket and trying to like make a little knapsack to carry them all in.
You could always store them for
Oh
later.
yeah, I guess I start putting them into my pearl. Did they go to like my pearl home? Like
Yeah,
my
your little that pro room.
yeah,
where
the pearl room. Oh yay, cool.
You tell me how organized that room is, but yeah.
I feel like Kara's fairly organized, but
She's
it's
got
very
like
cutesy.
one of
It's
her
like
mother.
very
The other mother
pink
is
and pearly.
not organized.
I think, as you say, it's nice that throwing things at you. As you're like picking stuff up and kind of moving away, where you were sitting, we just see this large circle shadow get bigger and bigger, and the boulder just slams down, and then you just hear Blush being like, "Ha! Good, always ready." Not realizing that you were just moving out the way.
Oh, good. You're just like moving, like slamming boulders on
I'm
my-
like holding the knapsack of like, or my like towel fold with all these things or with all my stuff, and like some of the gems are shoved in my thing, and I'm like holding my fork, and I'm like, oh, Blush, you scared me.
No, I didn't. You were prepared. That's why you moved.
Yeah,
Good job.
I totally meant to do that.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready for another one? Grab, bend, boulder.
I like wait for it. I like spin in a circle and do like a little ballet dance out of the way.
I throw it, and it goes out. It goes past you. Hmm. Good.
And I think when
good.
she does it, she like stabs it with a fork and like eats a little bit of it.
Gotta get those
rock.
minerals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Nice.
nutritious.
It doesn't taste very good. Wonder if you could make a giant cake ball.
It's already a ball.
But like, what if it was made out of cake?
Oh, I see what you're saying, but that would be too squishy. It would go right through my fingers.
Maybe you need to put a chocolate coating on it.
Yes, a hard shell would be more durable and less resistant.
And
I'll
it
get
would
on
provide
that.
an extra crunch.
Yes, it would crunch when it hit you. Always thinking about training,
No, I meant
especially
when
on
you-
this.
I meant when you eat it. You know,
Eating
a
it.
giant cake ball that you could eat. It would be like a festivity that we could all do together.
They're just looking at you like, what? Festive.
Yeah, like a party. But with food.
I don't understand party.
Oh, Blush, we really need to get you out more.
I'm outside right now. Is there another out?
Well, kind of. It's more like you need to experience more things. Kind of like what Celeste always tells me. But just a little different.
So I always run across the road and never look both ways. That seems dangerous.
Well, maybe not like that.
Celeste is a risk taker. You're right. I'll have to think of more violent things to get you for your pre-day day.
That's not what I meant.
I'll be off.
I like that you say I'll be off, and then she says, "That's not what I meant." We're a dumpster fire.
Bonding. It's bonding, not tormenting the child.
Oh, together breakfast. I like that.
So, Pax, where do you head off for the construction of this donut-based hamburger, and also to avoid feelings?
I am going off to, of course, of course, Celeste would have the monies. She will have the money, so I could go to the donut shop and then buy the other ingredients that I need. So, of course, I'm going to go bother Celeste.
Yeah, Random Tuesday, ready for a donut shop?
Always.
You're welcome.
There you go. Now you got a donut shop. It's fun.
It's the little donut. They only sell mini donuts instead of the big donut.
Oh, they're like going to be like mini little burgers.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Or I'm going to just mash all the donuts
Fires.
together.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, we'll see.
It'll be one giant burger.
Celeste! Can they
Pax,
hear me?
where are you?
Yeah, can you hear her over the sounds of water jets?
You're just then, like, eventually, there'll be a second where it's just like crunching rocks and like falling debris, and then I'll be like, and then like I'll emerge from some tunnel in like halfway up a wall in one of the rooms. We're like, oh, Pax.
I need the thing that the humans like a lot.
There's so many of those things. Start looking around the nearest object.
The thing what is it called? The thing that they use to exchange to get other things.
Oh, right, of course, yes. I go, like, I find a pile of assorted coins and notes from various eras of history.
Yes, I am, be prepared in, 30 minutes. I am going to make a breakfast meal, specially requested by, Kira.
Okay, the room's not ready, but we can eat it somewhere else.
No, it's gonna be somewhere else. I'm not gonna reveal our secret, the secret. But it's a very loud secret you're making. You know that. I woke up because of your loud secret that you're doing right now. I don't know. It's very secretive.
Well, she doesn't necessarily know what it is, just that it is.
No. Okay. But yes, please, Celeste. I swear it will be healthy.
It's like, I'm pretty sure we can eat anything we want and it has no real effect on ourselves.
Are you doing that because you're small and Celeste is tall?
I don't know where we are in
yeah. So height wise,
are we?
Where is everybody at? I assume are Ruby and
I'm probably
Pax small.
Pretty small, right? Like I'm a human. Or you guys like mini?
I need tiny Ruby.
I'm just.
Yeah.
I was imagining I'm the normal lattice size.
Small.
I'm probably like.
Okay, so I was also imagining you're up on the cliff versus I'm bottom of the cliff. Facing.
Well, you're inside the cave.
Okay, cavey. Never mind. So I'll go this way. Please.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, so I'll be taller, but I'll be on the ground next to you. But I'm just
Okay,
sifting
okay.
through the coins. I hold up like a gold doubloon. Like, do they use these? I don't think.
What's the average height of like a 14-year-old girl?
Girls hit height normally around. I feel like I was my current height in like middle school, high school. So
They're saying they're saying 158.7 centimeters.
5 feet-ish.
Yeah, 5 feet-ish. So about my height, my normal height. This is like when the Girl Scouts came to our work. Like we had like a Girl Scouts come to our work to like come see what game development's like, and all of them were like, "You're so small." And I was like, they're like, one of them legit was like, "How are you an adult?" Like, so one person said that to me. I was like, what? Cruel.
Thanks.
Kids, man.
Wait, so that's 5'3". You're
5'3". I'm taller than myself. That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's
Wait,
not
Maggie,
hot.
how tall are you, IRL? I feel like we're
I'm
gonna
like
do a Maggie Vance, like,
5'1" ish.
5'1".
Oh.
I say 5'2" because I'm like in between. I'm like some
Yeah.
weird
Bonsai,
centimeters.
how tall are you?
I'm 5'1", maybe
Okay.
a little less.
Bonsai and I are about
Okay.
the same height because I feel like when we talk to each other, we're not like.
It's the gosh darn Pacific Islander blood.
But you
That's
always
what
seem
gets me.
taller than me though. But I think it's because you're wearing like higher shoes usually. Like
I
you're-
got
was gonna be
boots on.
Bonsai
Yeah.
just has more presence. I don't know.
That's true. I'm like meek, small. Don't look at me.
I'm loud.
So you're in a cave. You're sifting through a pile of doubloons now that we've had this side
Yeah,
track.
yeah. Sorry. We got
Ruby
I
and
will-
Pax and Blush are like the Ruby Sapphire height, and then like Lapis and Kara are probably like humanish.
yeah.
heights.
I'm Schmau. I'll just grab a unknown amount and be like, "Thank you." Remember,
I
30
managed
minutes.
I managed to scrounge together a pile of mostly modern, like, legal tender.
I think at this point, like the people in town, like probably early on when you arrived there, I imagine they were pretty insistent, you know, because they didn't understand that you weren't human. And so they're like, oh, you have to have money. But like now they've kind of given up on that at this point. And so like they just sort of smile and nod and accept whatever you give them. They're like, ah, yes, bottle caps.
Yeah.
I've
I
been
feel like-
better. I've been
I
better.
feel like every now and then we give them like a solid gold coin from the 16th century, so they don't complain because they hope they'll be the next
Yeah.
one to get one of those.
Yeah.
All right, and yes, I will. Just grab whatever handful of currency that is equivalent, I guess. I don't know, and just run off to go to the get
You
my
have
supplies.
monies.
I
You have things
monies.
that you have defined as monies.
Yes.
So you run off into town. So you leave the beach area, and I imagine you probably go to like the donut shop, which is near the little donut. I was gonna say the little D, but that's not what we should call it.
Coming
Little-
to Networks
donut.
New.
I
mean,
mean, or maybe we do.
There's even worse things I could call it. There's worse. I can make it worse.
I know something about holes, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna be like,
The
Yeah.
whole-
little hole,
the little hole.
little D hole.
Steven Universe, everybody.
This is a kids show.
Oh
We managed 45 minutes. We were doing all right.
You're welcome. I'm so here for you. But you head to the little donut, and you get in there, and as you enter the store, like we sort of hear, I think this bit of a tone change, maybe like there's like the somewhat ominous music, but it's not really ominous because it's like still sunny and bright. And you can decide whether or not you're aware of any of this, but we see like a sort of younger woman sitting in a corner table at this donut shop, like eating her donut and drinking her coffee. It's black, you know, because it's strong. And she's got like a notebook and like a hat with like a piece of paper in it. It's like a perfect news hat, and she's just like perks up as soon as you get in there and like flips open to another page in her notebook and just starts staring at you.
Pax has just got a one-track mind because they choose not to think today. Today is not a thinking day. Today is just action day.
I wish I could have those days.
Yeah, just action days and try not to think about anything. So this is Oblivion. I'll just go up to the counter. Of course, make sure there's not a line. Is there a line?
There's like a couple of people in line. It's not super long.
All right. I will wait then behind there. And then, of course, like start my conversation because that's what I was told that I had to do. Hello there, humans.
So the line moves, and I think I don't know how patient of a gem are you or impatient of a gem are you?
Hello, fellow humans.
Yeah, would you say how would Pax feel having to wait in a line for like 5 minutes?
I would actually just like be one of those people that like wait a few seconds, go out of the line, fiddle with something, come back in the line, and then go
You just
out of
keep
the
going
line.
over
look
like
at
a
something.
cooler and opening and closing like the place where they keep like the cold drinks, and you're just like, no.
No, yeah.
Go like grab some napkins.
Fix
So
up
as-
maybe.
So
Yeah.
whether you notice the fact that this line is moving slower than maybe it would normally, I don't know.
So like a PAX line.
It's a Pax line.
Sorry, I just had
And then
to.
the entertainment shows up.
That's Lauren. Yep.
But yeah, I
Entertaining.
guess if it takes longer than usual, then I'd be like, look at the clock and there, and then be like, I guess conversation. Much time has elapsed. Am I right?
I think like the person in front of you is just like on their phone and they're like, what?
Much time has elapsed.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Uh,
Cool. Yeah, I guess. Boop, 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 boop. They're like playing a phone game. And as you like look around them, eventually the line moves, like they get ahead of you. And you would see the person at the front of the register seems very frustrated with their register. Like if you kind of notice that, they sort of seem to be like, why isn't this working? And like it, like the door like pops open, but then it like closes immediately, and then like it pops open, and then like some coins fly out of it, and then it like flashes. So it seems to be like not working super well.
Hello,
They
human.
get it working eventually. They serve the person, and then they're finally done in there, and then it is now your turn, and you're at the front of the line.
Would I have known this person? Let's say yes. Like,
Yeah, give me a name.
Who is we're
donut
gonna
shop
name this
worker?
we're gonna name this I'm gonna name them Michael.
Michael?
Michael.
Okay, and we're a beach town, so I hate to do this, but like everyone's gonna talk like this, and it's gonna be like super cool. So
All right.
Michael is ready to serve you, and as you get to the front, they're like, "Oh, hey, Pax, how's it going? You want the
Hello,
usual?"
Michael.
And they just like start getting like whatever small donuts you normally order.
I need twice the amount. I have been assigned to
wow.
make hamburger donuts.
Oh my. Hamburger donuts?
Hamburger donuts.
Hi, that sounds amazing. Like,
course.
oh my God. Okay, you have to try this one. And then they just start being like, this one has sea salt on it. Do you want the bubblegum one? I think that might make a cool hamburger.
Yes.
We're trying this new savory line. I don't think it's very good, but we have this garlic and onion donut.
Yes.
And they just start putting all of their donuts in there. Have you talked to the hamburger stand next door, Hammy's Ham Hams?
No, I am going there next. Ham? Yes, I will
Cool.
go ahead and talk
That's
to Ham.
great. Okay.
I noticed that your counting machine is broken.
I don't know, like maybe it's just like me, because sometimes this happens. So he like goes over there and he takes your donuts and he's like trying to input some stuff and he's like, no, they only have this many of them. And he's like talking to it. Like, no, okay, 7. All right. Boop. And then it like slams the drawer into him. He's like, and he closes it. Like, so weird. It's fine. Just leave whatever doubloons you have or bottle caps or shells or whatever it is this time.
When Blush tries to fix things, she usually whacks it. Or they usually whack it. So have you ever tried whacking them?
Boom, boom, boom. And he like smacks it a little bit. And then the drawer slams open into him. He's like, I don't think that fixed it.
Well, good luck.
It's probably fine. Like, thank you. Enjoy your giant donut. Tiny donut. Tiny donuts.
Tiny donuts.
Don't forget to go nuts for your donuts. That's their slogan.
So we're just spending every minute in the donut shop now, right? Is that what's happening?
He's my This World's version of Delmer Seafoam. He's probably like Michael Seafoam. He's like related to Delmer, who owns a pizza company.
I was hoping that a seafoam person would show up here.
Yeah, well, sure. It is now. It's canon now.
But yeah. I mean, do you want to do the hamburger shop? I think it's just gonna do the same kind of thing.
It's the same sort of thing. And why don't you
go get a donut?
I mean, here's my
I'm
question.
gonna get a donut during our break.
Anything weird? Does Pax think anything weird is going on?
Oh.
Pax is still like, it's kind of, I think I'll make note of it.
Okay.
And
'Cause
then when I'm discussing over like breakfast, we'll go ahead and talk.
Yeah. They might mention something in like the hamburger shop. It's not their register, but like maybe their fridge is on the fritz. And so like when you go in to order something, they're like, so be careful. This, like this stuff was fine, but we had to throw out a bunch of stuff because our like fridge is on the fritz and like keeps getting really cold and then really not cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just make note of it. And also it's just, I think PAX is also just thinking that it's just because tomorrow's going to happen. And tomorrow's never a good day. But it's okay, because we're not going to think about that. We're going to just do things to make people happy.
Let's not talk about our problems. Let's just put things on top of it. It'll be great.
Yeah, we bury our problems and we
Yeah.
can't find them or see them or feel them. So I will also add, and this is something that I think I do say in the system, but you as a player can at any point choose to take a negative condition. If you feel like something important and narrative enough has happened that it would make sense for you to have said negative condition.
Okay.
You can't choose to take positive ones because they're good for you. You have to work for those. But there are times where players are like, I really think I should have this like negative condition. If you want to play into that, you can.
I think for today and tomorrow, I'm gonna just be distracted, like purposely distracting myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what that translates
No,
to.
it doesn't mean you can just play that narratively. That's also true.
Yeah.
Totally true too. Okay. So you make your way back to the group. What has everyone else been up to meanwhile? Ruby, have you built more stairs? Lapis, have you continued hollowing out the room? Do the two of you confer at all?
I think I'm probably going to go up and talk to Celeste after Blush just almost tried to murder me with a ball of, I don't know,
Is that
rock.
like a thing that happens a lot? How do you deal with that
Train?
normally?
And Pax just threw a bunch of stuff on me. But you can play out there
I swear
soon.
I'm not gonna throw anything at Kara.
But you can start with their thing.
Probably.
Well, it's up to you. I mean, if that's what we think's happening next, like that's totally cool too.
I don't know where Blush went after walking away from me.
I think Blush would have went into like the foot the foot house to get a unit. It's like a small ball unit. It's like one of my training devices, and they're gonna head into town to find a cake place to put a cake around it.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, definitely play out that Blush Celeste combo.
Are you gonna tell it? Do you have to also go get money from Celeste?
I don't think Blush does, but I think Blush does kind of ask for some advice. I think during the kind of construction, Blush just kind of comes in and just kind of says, Celeste, what do you think is better? This one, and it's like a small cube with like razors coming out of it, or this one is like a circle with like tentacles flopping out of the sides.
Making this.
And it's like, I pop out from my tunnel again, like, for what?
Kara was speaking of a celebration surprise training session. Something editable and covered in chocolate. So I'm thinking one of these, but I'm not sure which one's more deadly.
I'd say the one with the spikes would be more deadly, but I don't know if you shouldn't use that around Kara. That's dangerous.
What do you mean? We have to.
Well, I mean, usually she's good at her training, but if she screws up, she'll get like stabbed, and if that happens to humans, they're all like squishy and it doesn't go well. They complain a lot.
No, they won't get stabbed too much, but we have to train her. It's time. We can't lose another pearl.
I think the second one is better. That's that's still a fight, but it'll it won't like jab her, and then she'll be fine.
Right. Yes, only the semblance of total destruction, but without the actuation.
Well, the
Right.
tentacles can suffocate. You know, they get a good grip.
Shh. No, it's all right. No. I don't need to tell them that.
Labus doesn't need to know.
Right. I'm gonna go to Happy Cakes and get them to put some cake around this. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, that sounds like a great idea. I've nearly finished on the room, and then we'll have a whole new room. And then we can do whatever we like with Pearl's room.
Right.
Like, never go in it again.
Yes. And they kind of look off. Are you okay?
Yeah,
Sounds like
this
maybe
is
you're
this
trying
is
to get in
nice.
sync.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you want to roll it, and then we'll see what the outcome is, and you get in sync with someone and support them emotionally. Roll plus
Oh.
pass it.
Yeah. I have 0. Go roll.
Ooh,
Yeah. Ooh, a
a
7.
7. So with a partial success, you can choose to either both gain +2 condition or both mark 1 XP.
So my intention
Then
here
you can
is
play out the rest of the
to
scene.
my intention is to pull out your emotion and so come with your feelings. So it's kind of up to you, all right? Do you think we kind of gain conditions on that?
I think positive conditions are nice. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
They are nice.
Celeste will answer and like you get through to her and she's like, well, this all seems to be happening really fast. It's humans. They're weird. They have birthdays every 5 minutes and then they're small and then they're suddenly big and so like everyone else seems to have moved on and it's weird. But this is nice. Change is it's nice to see Kara changing. I guess you don't get to see that with other people, and this is what Pearl wanted. So that can be sad, but
Yes.
everyone is where they want to be, I guess. I mean, we're not meant to be on this planet, but apart from that, we're where we want to be.
Emotions are hard for me to protect people from. I am sorry. I too feel sad.
We weren't trained for this. We were just trained to kind of pretend they weren't real. So now that no one's telling us to stop doing that, you're doing a good job.
Yes. More distraction with training. Right. They will be
I
the
think that's how
best.
humans do it too. That's a good idea.
You're not wrong. So
I'll
each of you, because you don't have any negative conditions, you could go straight to taking 2 positive conditions. Normally, if you have negative, you have to spend 1 to get it to 0 and then another 1 to make it positive.
Yeah. What would a condition tag be?
So your conditions are confident, calm, inspired, or brave. And then you mark one of those ones, and that'll give you a +1 to the appropriate roll.
Inspired, I think, for mine. I think works.
You actually get to mark 2 for this.
Oh.
It's the only way you gain positive conditions, so it's a big whammy when you get it.
Nice.
Gems are also bad at it.
That's true.
Didn't think that
Managed
would
to
work.
scrape through a partial
Well, you
success.
did a
It's
good
impressive for us.
job.
Yeah. You did good.
Surprisingly. Yeah. And I think Blush walks away thinking that they can combine the two.
Yeah, I'm going to be inspired and calm.
Seems like a good place to be.
Same.
Don't worry. I'm sure you'll lose those quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Hopeless
Especially
is only a
calm.
matter of time.
Speaking of calm, Kara, or not calm or losing calm, not really sure. Probably maybe like you and Ruby like pass each other in the foot corridor. As
Do you
you're
have the
heading
thing in your hand,
Celeste? Oh yeah.
Blush? Do you have the like
Yes.
squid thing in your
Yeah,
hand?
yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it
I
like in
do,
a
yeah,
bubble,
both of
or
them.
are you just like carrying it?
I believe I'm carrying it and the tentacles are just like writhing around, but like not dangerously.
I kind of like as I'm walking past you, I'll stop and be like, "Hi, Blush. What is that for?"
They pull it behind their back. Nothing. You shouldn't look. Forget what you see. Delete it from your memory.
I don't think I can.
I don't know how humans work.
Well, I'm not all human.
It's true. Partial delete?
I can try, but it looked really interesting.
Doesn't it? Yes.
Why are you trying to hide it?
It's for training for today for no reason.
Okay.
Do you
Well, I
like
hope
it though?
your training goes well. Yeah, and she'll like grab one of the tentacles or something like that.
Like wraps around your finger and then probably starts to squeeze.
Oh, that doesn't feel good. And
No,
I
it
just
doesn't.
try to like move the tentacle off my finger.
Like you get one off and then like another one wraps around.
I might need some help, Blush.
Oh, right. I just move it away.
You should be careful with that.
I also hear hugs are good, so
I think their hugs might be dangerous.
they kind of smile. Do you need anything, Kara?
I think I'm okay.
It is good to be okay.
Yeah, it is.
I'm heading into town.
Oh, what are you doing in town?
Getting items for today for no reason.
Okay. You're doing a lot of things today for no reason.
It is good to have randomness.
I'm proud of you, Blush. That's really good.
Thank you. They smile and they blush a bit.
Aw. And I think we part ways with that. That's cute.
Mhm.
You both continue walking.
What have I met?
I'm
What have I
also
made?
oblivious and naive, so it's like the perfect combination of this. It's great.
And Celeste, you are once again interrupted.
Yeah. Also, it's Kara this time, so you're probably trying to like hide whatever you're doing.
Oh yeah. She, like,
yeah. This
stumbled
time, like,
into the thing you're doing.
I think I'm like walking with this thing, and like every time I drop a like shell or a gem or like pearl, I just pick it up and I put it in the thing, and then I'm like, they keep falling out.
I think Celeste is like facing away and is like carving a new like section of wall smooth and is like and then like spins around and like puts up a shield of water behind her to cover what she was working on. Except
of
it's
course,
really thin,
water's
so you can just kind of
transparent.
you can just kind of see through.
What are you doing, Celeste?
Nothing, just making some changes in here for no reason in particular. Just how are you?
A lot of people are doing things for no reason.
Well, I felt like it was time for a new room for something.
Oh, what is the new room for?
Still deciding.
Oh, I see. Well, I think we could use another room. That's a great idea. Will that mean that we're gonna have extra toes? Or do we have an extra heel? Or maybe an extra soul?
I look over at like the winding, weird, nonsensical like corridors and interconnected rooms, and I'm like, did someone's foot?
That's true, I guess. Not every foot is the same.
Yeah, some people's feet change all the time. Speaking of, have you grown again? It seems like you do that all the time.
Yeah, I think I did.
It's always it's something
She
new
goes
every
over
day
to
with
like,
you.
do we
It's
have a
weird.
spot where like we mark every time I
Yeah.
like every year my birthday, like a little
Yeah.
I go over to that panel. Do you mark it on the thing?
And I walk over to it. I'm like, you have, and I I just carve a line in it.
Nice.
A water jet.
I guess I did grow up more. I do feel like I have.
Yeah, it's like, how can you even like keep track? It's like every day.
I think it's probably because I eat a lot.
It feels like yesterday you were still like this high, and I like put my hand at like the 1-year-old line.
That was a long time ago.
Imagine how awkward it was to measure the 1-year-old. You're like, baby, stay.
Stop squirming. Stand up. Why doesn't it stand up? Yeah, well, it's like for you, it's like forever, but for me, I was I came out of the ground like millennia ago.
Does that mean I'm gonna live for a long time too?
I have no idea.
That's scary.
Are you growing like a normal human does? I don't know. Did they grow faster or slower or?
I feel like I am. Maybe I
Well,
should
I
talk to
guess
my
we'll
mom about it.
work that out. Maybe she'll know. She knows the human bit of it. All I know is that we usually never die. So
Well,
you
that's
have a
interesting at
gem.
least.
So maybe you'll never die. Maybe you just keep growing and then you'll be like huge.
That would be really cool. Maybe I could have a foot as big as the spaceship.
But then some of the older humans end up shrinking again. So maybe you'll grow up and then you'll shrink and you're just shrinking, or you'll like grow up and down and just keep changing. I guess we'll have to see. This is all happening very fast.
I'm really excited. It should be a lot of fun. I actually had a question for you, Celeste.
Oh, what do you want to know?
What should I do with all these shells? And then I just jump them all out and I start pulling shells out of my gem.
Just like I said, you gem, pile of shells. Whatever you want. We're not doing anything with them.
Pax threw them at me.
Pax does that.
Yeah. One of these days, she's not gonna surprise me anymore.
That might be the point.
Maybe.
Anyway, I guess, I don't know, make something with them. That's what humans do, right?
Okay.
Usually
them all
when we
up.
find usually when we find shells, it just means we haven't fully extracted all the minerals and available resources from a planet yet, so we turn them into more gems. We can't do that here because we don't have a peridot.
That's horrifying. Right. I'm gonna go bring these to my mom. She's an artist. She likes making things. Maybe she'll be able to help me figure out a way to use them.
Yeah.
And I'll ask her about the growing thing. And I'll return with some information on it.
Interesting. It'll be good to know. I'll keep working on this random room that doesn't mean anything at all.
Right. Okay. Kara leaves. Kind of like looking back, like, what are they doing?
And since she's gone, it's like.
I feel like you were like also trying to hide like "Happy Birthday, Kara" like carved into the wall somewhere.
Yeah.
Just like the whole time it was like behind Kara.
Oh, it definitely there was an initial carving that said happy birthday, and then it was a P, and then that's had to be smoothed off again and with a K in place.
I love it.
No. Oh.
I love it.
I love it. I think it's
5
awesome.
minutes, the name's changed. It's hard to keep track, you know?
So they're so fast. I mean, like 14 years is nothing when you're thousands of years old.
It's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
All right. So, Pax, you've probably made your way back with your donut collection.
Oh yes,
And-
donut and random meats.
And random meats. Yeah, they were like, this is what we have that wasn't in the
Her
freezer
little
that's on the
D's and
fridge.
lots of random meat.
Yeah.
And Blush, you are headed into town to acquire cake, I believe. Happy cakes.
Mhm. Yeah, so I initially called it Happy Cakes, but then I decided I think it'd be funny if it's called Frosted Tips.
It's a cake and also a hair salon.
Mm-hmm.
The cake shop hair salon. They like had to because they just like had one space, but they didn't, so they had to like destroy the wall so they put one of their frosted tips. So drop them.
Normally it wouldn't work because the hair and food, but you know, it works
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah,
No one pays too close attention. No one
It's
plays
a
too
chill town. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Frosted Tips. Great. So as you go to Frosted Tips, you know, attempting to acquire cake, you see the owner of Frosted Tips, like at the door, and they're like locking it and they're closing it, and they've like flipped the sign that says like we're closed, and there's some sort of like handwritten note like taped on the inside. And they turn around and they're like, "Oh, Blush."
I've come to queue.
Oh, we're closed. Sorry.
Can you unclose?
No. That's not how closing works. We'll open again tomorrow after I get a technician in.
Technician. But tomorrow is the day that is the day of arrival.
Arrival? Is someone coming into town?
Kara's arrival.
Oh, you mean her birthday, the day she was born?
I stare blankly. Blink, blink.
Happy Ground Day? Like, day you emerged from the ground?
Happy you murdered Pearl Day.
Oh, did you need a birthday cake for her?
Yes, with this.
Well, fortunately for you, I do have, and there's like a pile, there's like a box or something. This is desperately convenient, like a box next to her, like a couple of them. She's like, most of the cakes didn't really make it today, but I do have this one. You can just have it for her birthday.
Thank you. This is really good. Plops on top, holds it.
You open it. And she's like, "Oh, wait." And then you open it and like it's scrawled on top. It says, "My condolences." And she just like smears the frosting. That should be better now.
Yes, it should. Rubs the ball in it. It's all right. It's sterile.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm so sorry we're closed, but again, we'll hopefully be open tomorrow when we get a technician in.
What is wrong?
Oh, most of our machines aren't really working. The batter went everywhere. The hair dryer made people's hair very frizzy. It got hot and then cold, and the speeds were off, and there's cake splattered all over the walls and hair in the cake.
Oh, I heard that's a problem.
It is. We have a very tenuous licensing situation.
Have you tried hitting the device?
We did. It didn't help. Made it worse, actually.
Sometimes I find hitting it more than once helps.
Well, if you hit it too hard, it might just break.
That is true. Human devices are weak.
Yes.
And they just stand there pondering this for like a second, silently.
I think if the Cake Frosted Tips owner, she sort of looks at you and she'd be like, "Hey, okay, I'm going now," and then just like picks up her stuff and walks away.
Do people come to surprise birthdays?
I'm sorry, what? As she's walking away, come to who? What?
We'll run over. Do people come to human days of birthing?
Well, normally the people who are allowed in the room when the child's born are the mother and any other parents, and then the doctors. But we do come to parties. Are you? And then she like gets very conspiratorial and leans in. Are you having a birthday party for Kara?
It is a surprise day that is about a parting.
A surprise birthday party? Oh, good. Let me know if you need any help. I love surprise parties.
Yes, I need help making this and putting the cake together. I'm not a bismuth.
You mean a baker?
Is that the human term?
A person who makes cakes. A baker.
Yes, I don't normally make these things together, and you seem quite good at it. Could you, as a big round ball of cake around this, you seem quite skilled.
Well, she kind of like looks forlornly over at Frosted Tips. All of my equipment's there and not really working, and I don't know it. I just wouldn't be able to do a particularly good job.
will this help? And if I can, I don't know if it's a roll, but like when I get like a little bit of coal and like break it, and like there's like a little bit of, like a diamond in it. Humans like
Okay.
shiny things, right?
It's crushing coal into diamonds. Why don't you go ahead and roll to persuade them?
Yeah, persuade. What is that? Is that facet?
Yes, you actually roll plus clarity unless you have a special move.
I
Convince
don't.
them through articulating your ideas clearly.
I don't have those, so it's just gonna be clarity. You said.
Yes.
Oh right, let's fail at this. Yeah, 4.
Oh, okay. So with a 4, they look at you and they're very sort of serious in the tent, and they're like, with my store out of commission, I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be able to help you. You know, if my store was somehow working again, maybe if all of my equipment wasn't broken, I could probably do it for you. But unfortunately, it isn't. We'll just have to wait till the technician comes. And they said the earliest would be tomorrow. Best of luck.
Thank
And
you.
then she turns and walks away.
Ruby Blush looks at it and then like ponders to themselves, which one of us is good with human machines? Me, of course.
I will fix your store.
So I think Ruby attempts to like break in and fix the store.
Okay, you're gonna try and break in on your own.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't think like how do you like literally break in because the door is locked?
Mhm. I think they go around to the side, and there's I suppose like where there's like a little bathroom window. They
Yeah.
try and like squeeze through that.
Okay. I was just like, how breaking are we doing or breaking in under? Yeah, you find like a vent, you like pop the vent off, and then just like small room squeezes through it. And I think as you do that, and we'll come back to you in a second, but we pan over and we see the same woman from the donut shop with her like hat on. It's like tipped down. She's got a trench coat, even though it's really warm out, like collars popped, and is like writing in her notebook, and like, you know, she's chewing on like a toothpick or something, just like, interesting.
I smell a story.
Yeah. There's a scoop in there, and it's not just because they also sell ice cream.
Nice.
So you were sneaking in. Meanwhile, are Carapax or Celeste doing anything else before we figure out what Ruby's gonna find?
I'm gonna go talk to my mom. Not Pearl.
Okay.
My human
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah, well, Pearl's gone.
Yeah. Just to make it clear to people back home.
What did we name your human mom?
Yeah, Aisha.
Yes. Aisha. Aisha, and do you have a last name?
I didn't have a last name, but I can
Maybe
come
your
up
mom
with one.
doesn't believe in last names.
Maybe not. She's a hippie after all.
She is a hippie art teacher. She's super chill.
But we probably do have a last name.
Maybe she's just never told it to you.
It's probably like
Galaxy is a suggestion.
well, I think my name is like very Filipino because like it's actually Karagatan, but she goes by Kara for short because it means something if you want to look it up. So I'll give you a last name if you need it for some reason.
No, I was just curious. So Aisha, she's, I think that you can see the similarity. She obviously doesn't have the pearlescent hair that Kara has. You know, hers is dark and sort of thick and curly hair, and it's kind of pulled back. And she's also like dressed waifishly, I imagine, like in like flowing sort of dress. Everything's like light fabric, and I imagine she's got like a canvas set up, and there's the ocean in front of her, and you have like a little beach house. It's like a pretty small one, like maybe not super far away from where the gems live, and she's like painting, and you look at like the canvas and it looks nothing like what she's looking at. But she's doing it incredibly enthusiastically. You know, there's like she's got a shell necklace on, and she turns around and she's like, Kara,
Hi, Mom.
how are you, darling?
I'm doing okay.
Oh, good. Now, stand right there.
Okay. She just
Yeah.
stands there, awkward.
And she like does something on the canvas. Done. Perfect. As always.
What did you do? And she kind of goes and looks.
I'm painting the feeling of the sunrise. I've been here since
What does it
morning.
look
I
like?
know. It's just color, I think. Like it doesn't look bad, but it's definitely like
It's just like
impressionist, right? Like yeah, it's
paint
like
splash
you're
everywhere.
like, yeah, that looks like a feeling.
Okay. I like it. I actually was wondering if you would help me with an art project.
Of course
Don't-
I will. What did you want
Don't
to work
get too
on?
excited.
Oh,
Well, Pax threw a bunch of gems at me and
oh
shells,
no.
and I was wondering if
That
maybe
seems
I could
mean.
make something helpful.
Helpful? In what way?
I don't know. I figured you might know what to do with them.
You just like dump the shells out.
Yeah, just like a bunch of gels just pour out of her gem, and then like she just dumps the towel down.
And
It's
I
like
think
little
you're,
pearls and like shells.
Aisha, she kind of turns around and she looks at this sort of collection. She's like picks one of them up and she like looks at it. She's like, oh, it's so beautiful. And then she looks at you. She looks back and she's like, reminds me of your mother.
Yeah. Can you tell me something else about our mother? Or my mother?
What do you want to know?
Well, I've been reading her favorite book, and that has helped a bit. But what did she do on her birthday?
She didn't have a birthday. I don't think any of them do. They just seem to age or not age. But you have a birthday and it's tomorrow.
Yeah, Celeste wanted me to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're doing a lot of things for no reason, which is really interesting. But she was
Wow.
wondering if I'm going to keep growing.
She like stands next to you and like compares your heights. Is your mom particularly tall or particularly small?
Probably smallish, because,
Mhm.
you know, the Filipino vibe.
Yeah.
We
So
smell.
She kind of compares and like you're about her height. And she's like, well, hard to say. You might keep growing. Your mother was taller, but you might not grow because I'm not taller.
That
And they're
seems really
both okay and both
confusing.
very normal.
I don't think that's going to help Celeste.
Well, you can tell her this, that humans' height has beautiful variances. They come in all sizes and shapes and forms, just like the gems do.
Oh, I think she'll like that. Although it might confuse her more. Either way, I'll tell her. So what do you think I should do with all these shells?
Well, you said you wanted to make something useful.
Yeah.
Well, art is in itself useful. It brings people joy. So make something that makes you happy.
Okay. I think I'll do what you did. I'll make something that makes people feel happy.
And then she like, I think she pauses and she puts her hands on the side of your face and she like pulls you in. And she's like, you make me happy, Kara. So don't worry about me.
Okay. But I'll still make something that makes you happy too.
Love you very much. Kisses you on the forehead and gives you a hug.
He hugs
Now,
back.
what would you want for your birthday dinner tomorrow?
Well, I told Pax that I wanted to make a donut burger.
Oh,
And then I told Blush that a giant cake ball would be really cool.
okay. I'll see what I can do. And then, you know,
I
pats
think
you on the
Kara's
head.
gonna try to make art. She's gonna try to make
can
something
try to make art
that makes
Aw.
everyone feel happy when they look at it. But it might just turn out to be a mess.
I don't think we have a role for it, so I think you just get to decide.
Okay.
whether or not it works. But maybe you can sort of individually roll to get in sync with people as you show it to them.
Okay, I like that. That's cool. Because it's all subjective, right? Like it's like depending on
Art is very subjective.
So I like that idea that some people are like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And other people are like, this is amazing.
No. So you go forth and make art. Ruby, I guess, is probably the next one. Let's go back to Blush. They are breaking into Frosted Tips.
I love it.
Dun, 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 dun. The first part, it is just narrate me through the first segment of breaking into Frosted Tips.
So I think Ruby, Blush is like humming the Mission Impossible, but like every so often they're just like Ruby, 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 Ruby. And then as they get to the opening, they kind of kick it open, and then for no reason they do like a flip down, and they like have that one hand like bottom, and they look up, Ruby.
As all of this was usually like climbing in through the ducts, and so you're like laying in the bathroom. So it's like super epic, but there's like the toilets behind you.
Yeah. And I'm just like, all right, infiltration mission is complete.
We are in enemy territory.
And I go into the larger room, and I'm guessing.
So you make your way into the main room, the half salon, half cake store, and there's like a dividing line almost like with the tiling, I imagine, on the floor. Like one side's got like the classic like black and white checker, and then like the other side's like, I don't know what's in a cake store. I get like
kind of like bright pinks and sugar.
Yeah, it's like a bright pink floor. Sort of divides the line. Similar decor because it's got one owner, but like I don't know. I only have one store and I want to make two businesses. And everything is off right now. All the power is off. Like the lights are out, so it's it's daytime, and so there's light coming in through the window. So it's not like you're like stuck in the dark. But none of the machines seem to be on, as far as you can tell.
Do I understand human electricity?
That's a question for you.
We'll say I've become somewhat accustomed.
Okay. You understand that you sometimes have to flip a switch for things to work.
Mm-hmm. It's not motion sensors.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, so primitive.
I go over and I flip the switch, see if it comes on.
Flip. Like you flip them all on, all the lights turn on. And there's a sort of like a hum as some of the machines seem to be like power flows to them. I mean, this is like